Today's first reading, Isaiah begins by saying, "The desert and the parched land will exult. The steppe will rejoice and bloom, and the bloom will be abundant flowers." You know, a passage like that is so foreign to us Michiganders, isn't it? We're like the exact opposite of a desert. We're the total opposite. We are sitting in the middle of the biggest collection of fresh water on planet Earth, the Great Lakes. And for most of us, the water table is not that very far down. I can tell you my sump pump in the rectory basement is constantly working. Otherwise, that rectory basement would flood. And I think we all know that drought is rare, lakes are everywhere, streams are everywhere, and that if there's one thing Michigan has, it's fresh water. So Isaiah's passage is very foreign to us. And I only really got to appreciate it when I was in Israel, which is very unlike Michigan. It's very dry. Along the coast, it's like a Mediterranean climate. Inland, it's very desert-like. And our group, we were there for 4 months, but we had a 2-week trip planned to Mount Sinai, to climb Mount Sinai with the Ten Commandments, which is down the bottom of the Sinai Peninsula. But to get to the Sinai Peninsula, you have to cross the Negev Desert. The Negev Desert is the southernmost part of Israel. It's the largest part of Israel, and it's even drier than the Sinai. And previous groups that had gone said, well, it's very barren, very plain, and very boring, and dusty, and sandy, and you'll drive across it and you won't see much of interest. Well, we got lucky, because I want to say 4 or 5 days before we left for the Sinai, the rains came. And the rains would come to the Negev 2 to 3 times a year. That's it. And the rains came. So that when we drove into the Negev, it was, as Isaiah said, the steppe will rejoice and bloom with abundant flowers, because there were flowers as far as the eye could see. Remember that image? The image that strikes me is from The Wizard of Oz. Remember him and Dorothy and Toto, when the Lion, the Scareman, and the Tin Man, they arrive and they see this big field of poppies. And Oz is in, that's what it looked like. I don't know if the flowers were poppies. I don't know. But they were flowers as far as you could see. And the driver of our van took the windows down and said, "Listen to what you hear." You know what we heard? The buzzing of bees. There were hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of bees out there. There are bees everywhere, because the bees in the desert come out at these moments. The seeds of these flowers, the plant grows very, very fast. The bees come out of their hives. They get as much pollen as they can, because it's the only time they're going to get it. And then the seeds are formed, and they drop back into the dirt and wait for the next rain. It's a very fast cycle. So you get all these bees. And then you look above the fields, above the desert, and what do you see? Birds by the thousands, diving down and eating the bees. Everybody is living off this rain. This rain comes, and this barren, empty, deserted place becomes filled with life. And that is the example that Isaiah is using to describe when the Son of God comes. When Christ comes, it comes like the rain in the desert, and life grows where no one expected it. Life grows where no one saw it before, and it grows in many ways, and it grows abundantly. And I think when we are preparing for our Christmas, and we celebrate that day that Christ came into the world, we celebrate that day with great joy, because it's the gift of life for us all. And it's a promise that if we place our faith in Jesus, and we have the courage to accept his love, and we have the courage to share that love with others, then no matter what the world throws at us, we'll persevere and overcome it for an eternity with the Lord.